welcome back to Sonic Adventure 1. We just unlocked our second level with the Windstone, which is, I'm not sure why my camera did this, which is right here. But I kind of went through the Mystic Ruins pretty quickly and I didn't talk to anybody, so I want to go ahead and just explore it a little bit. Since it's a pretty interesting hub world, I hope you're doing well, by the way. We're the exploration party searching for ruins. Our motto is go anywhere, search everywhere, discover everything. That's a pretty interesting motto there. I really need to explore this mountain, but I don't even know where to start. What does he mean, like, does he just mean this big mountain? Because I think you're gonna need some climbing equipment, at the very least. And here's a little cabin that, unlike something that Bob Ross might paint, unfortunately we can't go inside it. This is our base camp. Another party has already gone into the jungle. Until we hear from them, we can't run the trolley. And I believe the trolley he's talking about is right here. There's this very pretty, oh, I didn't mean to fall down, but there's this very pretty, very serene lake here with some strange stone things that get pushed out of the wall, and then a silver egg falls down. I actually did not mean to do that right now, so we're just going to come back for that at a later time. I saw this weird plate in the cave, and scrawled on it in ancient writing was the word wind. I bet it's a clue to something. I wonder if that means that Sonic can read the ancient writing, but anyway, time to go to the next level, which is Stage 2, Windy Valley. And now, unlike Emerald Coast, we have Tails following us, just like in Sonic 2, which is really, really a nice touch, honestly. So once again, diverging path here, we can go down and follow the rings, or we can get 10 rings and do homing attacks over here to follow. And get a shield, lightning shield. I'm gonna go ahead and activate that checkpoint though. Oh, well, I went right by him, but that chameleon enemy is pretty interesting. They're invisible until you get close to them. And I haven't really talked about this, but on the hub world areas and in levels, there's this glowing light that'll give us some information if we jump into it.
The wind is making an invisible path. Don't be afraid. Go through the gate.
Also, there's something to be said for these skyboxes, I gotta admit, and how clearly they just wrap around the entire level. Alright, let's see what she's talking about with the air path. Bounce up on this trampoline 3 times for max height, and then we can land right here for, is that, oh, it's rings. I thought it was invincibility for a second, and we got 40, nice. This bridge is gonna collapse, so we gotta be fast if we want that life there. And suddenly things get very dusty because we are about to be sucked into a tornado.
Head straight up. You should be able to get out of the tornado. Jump on panel number.
Oh, here's a tutorial for the panels. Please don't ask me how this is supposed to work and make any kind of sense, because I wouldn't be able to begin to explain. But it's pretty cool to be inside of a tornado, though. Speaking of which, I think after this jump we'll be out of it already. It's really nice to have a speed boost here, just because this section is a very, very long sequence of paths like this. So being able to get up to max speed quickly is very welcome. Oh, I forgot to explain. There was a trail of rings there that unfortunately we couldn't do anything with. At least until we get an upgrade later. I'm gonna try to make it up the top one. Okay, sometimes the game likes to boot you down to the bottom path. We'll just get a refresh on our shield since we already had one. Say hello to the flying hawk there. So I want to, it's probably a stupid idea, but I want to show you that you can just, at a lot of points in this game, you can just sort of jump. Yep, I knew it was stupid. At a lot of points in this game, you can just sort of jump down to skip a lot. Yeah, the camera's not my friend when I do that, because it needs to get to the right place, but I'm glad we landed that time. Oh, I missed all those rings. Yeah, when Sonic's moving fast, he's pretty unwieldy as far as tiny movements go. And even more birds there. One ring for our trouble, and now the Chaos Emerald. A pretty quick level, nothing too special about it. And there's our level C completed. C for Chaos, I'm sure. So after that level, there's no cutscene or anything or any indication of where we're supposed to go. So I guess all we can really do, if we're confused, is jump here and see where the light tells us to go.
Go to Station Square. You may find something.
And that's all we need. I'm sure once we get in Station Square, it won't be that hard to figure it out. Oh yeah, and actually when we come back, the sun is actually starting to set, which is a nice touch. I know where I need to go for this part of the game, but I'll still interact with the light.
There's a place somewhere in the city where you can go down into the sewer.
Just enough of a hint to go off of, and thankfully the cops are gone, so now we can go through here to the second area. And over here is where we fought Chaos Zero when we first started the game. Anyway, we need to go down in the sewer, and here's the open manhole for it. Turning around is a big box that Sonic is far too puny and weak to push. So I guess we'll just have to go the other way. Oh, there we go.
Now you've got light speed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the light speed dash. The light speed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
And now we have our first proper upgrade of well, not that many, but throughout each character's campaign you do get upgrades for how they play. And Sonic's light shoes, or light speed shoes, let him do the light speed dash, as the light told us. That's a lot of saying light a lot. So we hold down the spin dash. And particles surround us until Sonic is glowing blue. And if there's a trail of rings, we can just let go and zoom right up there. Oh, keep doing that. Hey, don't use the back door. So much like the silver egg in the Mystic Ruins. Oh, and in the previous level I mentioned, or I called attention to the trail of rings there. And I said we can't really do anything with that yet, and that's just because we needed this upgrade, so when we go to play that level again at some point, if we wanted to, we can use this to see where that path takes us. So I'm feeling a little mischievous, so I'm just going to go ahead and steal this and walk out the door. Except I can't. Because the whatever this building is with the toy robots and the looks like an old-timey radio, whatever it is, they care about their prized egg very much. So once again, feeling mischievous, I'm going to come over here and get this rock. And right in front of this guy's face, I'm going to steal the egg and replace it with this worthless rock with a similar shape. Goodbye. NPCs to talk to in here, and we'll go ahead and do that later. Because I want to take this egg after we get this hidden emblem to the Chao Garden to talk about that a little bit. I love that little bass fill in that song. Yeah, and now that we have the Lightspeed shoes, it's also nighttime, more or less, and I just took a ride on that car for a second. Alrighty, and into the elevator we go. And unfortunately, it does not save the animals that we got from the first level. Only the most recent one, and I didn't really make it a point to collect them, so too bad. Looks like this Chao is already hatched, but I want the... Why is there already a gold one here? Okay, well, it makes sense that there's a gold one because I did have a save file from a very long time ago, but I deleted it before we started recording. So I guess the only explanation I can think of is that Chao data is saved elsewhere and as not part of the overall save file. Well, okay, that's really strange, but this is the Chao Garden. Basically, you take an egg and you hatch a Chao and you feed them animals that you get from defeating enemies. And it increases their stats in the top left, as you can see. And we just gotta level up in a nice jingle, and also the Chao takes on the properties of the animals that you feed them. And all of this really is to say is that you can then take your Chao and put them in Chao races. I'm not going to be bothering with this too much. One of the few things I think Sonic Adventure did Sonic Adventure 2 did universally better than Adventure 1 is the Chao Garden stuff. Because there's a lot more variety and it's a lot easier to manage the Chaos and also more rewarding. But still, I couldn't play this game and not mention the Chao Garden, even though we won't be messing with it too much. That's really interesting, though, that there's a different save file for Chaos. Because I 100% deleted that file several days before I started recording. But anyway, that's the Chao Garden. It's legendary. I wish that Sega would bring it back in another Sonic game to sort of iterate on it. Sorry about the quick edit there. Someone on the street outside was trying to be like Sonic in their car, and it ended up being very, very obnoxiously loud. And actually, I still kind of hear them, but anyway. Now that we have the Lightspeed shoes upgrade, we can go ahead and get this, or finally do this, if you remember the trailer rings from the previous video. Interestingly, if you charge up the Lightspeed dash near buttons, the light particles have hitboxes that trigger them. Alright, I'm gonna wait for that to close and then do it one more time. And just like that.
This is the crystal ring. This reduces the time needed to store power for the Lightspeed dash.
So I really like this upgrade just because it's entirely optional, and if you remember that first trailer rings, you can get it. Also, it looks really cool on Sonic, in my opinion, like the bright green or bright blue, whatever you want to label that. So let's see how quickly we charge up our Lightspeed dash now. It's a lot faster, and not to mention it also changes the particle effects too, so it's a pretty fun upgrade to get.
You can go to the casino area at nighttime.
So now that it's nighttime, if we remembered that before, which I didn't, we can go to the casino, which is accessible from two different locations, one in Station Square, the train station, and one right here, which is a little closer in my opinion. A little quicker, even though it doesn't really matter. Yeah, right through here. It's also the train station. And speaking of our new Lightspeed dash, we have to use it to get in here. Wow, lights, great music. So this is the casino that everyone's been talking about. Wonder what that switch is over the sign. I always get the urge to press things like that. And the terminal says, "Welcome to Casinopolis," or Casinopolis. That's not how you say it. The first time was good. This is our third action stage. This song is so chill. The terminal here says store rings in the vault. Try to save at least 400 rings in the vault, which is a clue to go over here, although there's a light that'll tell us exactly what we need to do anyway up ahead. I think this will just say this is the vault. Yeah, this is the vault. Jump on the switch to deposit your rings.
Try and deposit as many rings as you can. It may even help show you the way.
So this level is quite different from the other ones we've played so far. Nothing's going to happen when I step on this because I have 0 rings, but there's the Chaos Emerald we need. And we need to collect 400 rings in order to reach it. And how we do that, you might ask. It's exactly what you're thinking. We play pinball, a classic staple of every casino, of course. Which is, once again, a very nice throwback to Sonic Spinball and stuff. Oh good, we made it. Sometimes it's too weak to actually go through that. This one's weird, though, because when you go through these, you can shake the pinball machine, but it never really works. I've never been able to actually land and get those things, because you can shake the pinball machine and influence Sonic's location, but... So we haven't been very lucky on getting any rings here, but as you might imagine, it is quicker than you might think to get the rings. Like, for example, we just got into that little slot there, which lets us play the slot machine, and we got 3 knuckles, which is Shining K, which will give us a nice boost of rings, and we're already up to 54. Shucks, there's actually 2 pinball, there's 2 pinball machines, and I want to show off both of them, so hopefully I can get 200 in one and then 200 in the other in a reasonable amount of time. I want to hit that switch before it runs out of time, but I do have trouble figuring out when exactly I should aim the thing here. I feel like it's just random most of the time. Nice. Oh, well, that didn't actually give us anything, I don't think. Maybe it would have unlocked the timer for that switch. Whoop, that was fast. Maybe it would have unlocked the timer for that switch, but because we already had it, it didn't do anything. I'm gonna try to shake the pinball machine. Oh, thank goodness there was that to save me, and we hit our first 100, which gave us a life. And here we go again. Even though this won't really give us anything, it's just kind of a time waster. Yeah, there it goes. That's too bad. And we missed out on the switch. But we did get those 3 switches, which gives us a decent amount there. Oh, so close. You can hit that switch even if the timer isn't up, so I'm not 100% certain what the draw was there. Yeah, and shaking the pinball machine does nothing in this section. Oh, but... Oh, it did send him careening off the side. Yeah, this is a very interesting... I can only imagine what, how Sonic feels. We're at 150, so as soon as we get to 200, I'll probably call it. But I would like to... Oh, I'm going to have to call it at 150. Alright, and here we are back in the casino room. So that was 777 slot pinball, or slots and pinball. Over here is card and pinball, which doesn't look necessarily too interesting or conspicuous. But if you look at the logo behind the card and pinball and the shape it's in, the purple lights, you'll notice maybe another Sega character. If you are familiar with it, and if you're not, you can just look over here and see Nights, which is of course referencing Nights into Dreams, which was a Sega Saturn game. And it actually plays one of the best songs in Nights too. This one works a little bit differently than the slot ones. Oh wow, that was fast. This one works a little differently than the slot ones. You basically collect cards and try to get poker hands with them. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just random. You just hit whatever cards you hit and hope that they give you a lot of rings. At least that's how I play. And we just hit 200. The real goal here, though, is to get past that wooden block at the very... You can see a purple arrow pointing up at the back there. I can't remember exactly how we lift that wooden barricade, but once we do, it takes us to a second section, or second pinball machine that gives us a lot of cards at once. And of course, all the cards are bosses from Nights or enemies. Actually, Wise Man, this one I just got right there, and the one to the left of it is also Wise Man. That's the final boss of the game. There we go, we got one pair. That's a very interesting game. I should play that sometime again. Very, very... Okay, it's open now, so we can actually get up there. Just gotta make sure that we... There we go. Here it is. So yeah, as you can see now, it's very easy to get lots of... Oh. It's really cool how they basically recreated a level of Nights. And Nights will just pick up Sonic and just carry him around. There's actually a second level that was recreated. I just did this again. Unfortunately, this doesn't really do too much for you, even though it's a neat little Easter egg. Yeah, Nights into Dreams is a great game. I never played the Wii sequel, unfortunately. Maybe that's the one I should play next when I get the urge to, or I'm gonna try to not do that same thing again, because I want cards. Oops. Because we're at 279, we're getting there, definitely getting there. Oh man, that's so funny. Usually I never ever even get this one. And now it's happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. Still really cool though, I love seeing it. I feel like they could have at least made the rings give, the rings that Nights fly through give 1 ring or so. And one pair, we are 4 rings shy of 300. Oh, that was a mistake. I mean, this is the one I was thinking about. This is another Nights level, the very first one recreated. At least recreated in essence. It's obviously a lot smaller than the actual level, but it's really cool just to fly through and see all the enemies and stuff. And of course, I didn't play Nights until way later, so when I was young and playing this game, I just thought this was just random cool stuff on the screen, you know, as kids do. There's 330. Now, it's a little risky, but I kind of want to get the last 70 rings here, or 69 rings, in a different way. So I'm just going to go ahead and let us fall here. I'm going to risk it because this is a pretty long level the way I'm doing it without... Okay, so that's that. Oh, maybe you have to be in the slot pinball machine, so we're just gonna go ahead and let this rock and have Sonic fall again. And get one or two, a handful of rings on the way here, because I keep bumping into stuff. I've never really understood how the pinball shaking worked, because sometimes it feels like it's inverted, where if you push it to the left, Sonic will move to the right, but also sometimes it doesn't feel like it listens to you at all and it just shakes the screen, so I'm not sure. I'm trying to think, how do we do this? There is a section of the stage that's... Oh, let's try to do it without any rings, because I haven't been thinking about the fact that we can deposit them, so let's see this funny animation. Now there's a big pile of rings, but unfortunately, until you get to... As you can see, until you get 400, there's an invisible wall blocking you from getting it, or else you could just do the spin dash thing to get up here like that. But anyway, now that we have 0 rings, maybe this will work. So pardon me while I waste time again. And shake the pinball machine to try to make it a little bit quicker. Oh, that was a past one. Good job, Sonic. You're very good at dying. We're already at 40, so yeah, I think we're good. I just hope this does what I want it to. It does. Okay, so I think either when you have a few rings, or if you end up losing all of your stocks quickly, you get this little level that's a lot more like the other Sonic stages, which just has enemies to attack. And here's a trail of rings, so why don't we try this? And that's pretty fun, and we already have enough, so as long as we don't get hit, we should be okay. Now we can very slowly ride this up to 10 more rings. Now you have to be really careful in these tiny hallways, because you can't really see very far ahead of you, and there's a little bit of a trap set up. So I'm going to try to not go too fast and avoid the speed boost pads there. Okay, there's not one here, that's good. I think maybe they might be only on the center paths. I usually always take those. But I'm sure maybe in this last hallway there will be one. Yeah, there it is, and we could have... Oh, jeez. I was trying to pass under it, but yeah, we could have definitely lost all 200 rings there. And now here's the last section, which has a very, very fun Lightspeed dash. And zoom. And we get invincibility from it for some reason, even though it doesn't matter at all, and there's no more enemies to deal with. And boom. Come out of this grate here, and then we can make Sonic take a shower. Oh yeah. And we can appreciate this animation for as long as we want to as well. I do appreciate the tiny little blue particle effects that dance around just to make it seem like water's falling off him. And once we're out of the bathroom, we are back into the main area, and we are done with this level, which took me 13 minutes. That's a lot longer than I was hoping. Apologies about that. And that should put us at a whopping 400 and 623. That's what I totally meant to say. Oh, hello, Tails. Jeez, scary. I'm not looking forward to getting the speed emblem for that.
man. What happened to that emerald we just had?
I guess Eggman's got one of them. But the other one's safe. That guy must be desperate.
That means his 2 to our 1, and that's not good. Come on, Sonic, we need to get busy.
In the words of Sonic from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, that's no good. I like the implication with the animation there where when Sonic is asleep, his legs are kicking. Like I always assumed that meant he was supposed to be running in his sleep, but I don't know if that's actually the intent. Anyway, this is the Ice Stone. It looks like a key. Maybe I can use it in the Mystic Ruins, and that is what we'll do before we end off this video. Go ahead and get on the train here and watch it take off with us, not in first person there. And thankfully the mountain just collapses to reveal a path. Can we talk to NPCs with this, or we're gonna have to put it down? Let's see. Well, I didn't even try. Oh good, we're the exploration party searching for the ruins. Part of the mountain has collapsed and revealed what looks to be an entrance. Gee, I wonder where we have to take the Ice Stone. I have no idea. The rocks crumbled and revealed the entrance to a cave. The soil seems a lot like the soil. I'm just kidding. From the Mystic Ruins. I mean, that's where we are. So you would think that the soil immediately outside is the soil inside, but anyway, who am I to judge? That man's an explorer, that's his job, what do I know? I have no idea where to put the Ice Stone. Once again, like the Windstone, the key is floating. And it opens up to an icy path, and before we end, I want to go down to the end of this tunnel and see. Well, you can sort of see through it because the placement is weird, but yeah, I can't access this yet. Whatever it may be on the other side of that. So thank you so much for watching me play pinball for 30 minutes. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.